Hi there, I'm Darin Starr.
I'm Denia Kirk.
We are Sketch Eclectic, and today we're going to talk about our song, Singin Stones.
Singing streams.
So this song happened really quickly while I was sitting on a flat rock up in the Smoky Mountains by some very loud waterfall, on the trail, Tremont Trail. I sat there on that rock with my blanket and my pencil and my journal, and I spent a couple hours writing the words for Tear in Her Voice. And before I left, I jotted down this song, the first part of it, and then I sat at the Dancing Bear Lodge and by myself and had a beer on the porch and finished writing this song. So this song is called Singin Stones, and it has a lot, obviously it's about the sounds and the voices of nature. But to go and make the story even more twisted, so I have this friend that teaches different classes in her home, and I went to one of her classes on crystals. And it was a trading class. Like, you bring a crystal of yours and someone else along the way, during the class, you'll trade off. So I had this carnelian stone, which was about I need to get a picture of what that stone, because it's anyway, it was a carnelian stone that I had for years, but I had also had it sitting recently with Mom's things. Some of the things after she passed away, I have quite a few of her things. I have an old desk that was passed down from the family, and just kind of a little shrine, if you will. And that stone was sitting in there. Well, I went to the class, we traded. Later, the teacher of the class let me know that the girl who got my stone that we traded with said that the whole way home after picking that stone, she was singing. She's like, I don't know where that music was coming from. I was just singing. I was singing. It was hymns. It was gospel music and hymns. And I was like, maybe that's Mom she's hearing. Like, that was cool. And so Katie wanted to share that with me because she knew I was a singer, and it just seemed like a really ironic, fun story. So that's also the idea of the singing stone. Like, the stone can actually hold on to a tune or a message or a voice, which I've found that to be a fascinating idea.
That's cool.
The singing stone carries the tune you've always known. You'll find it soon. Singing stones.
For
My question.
Yes.
When we first put this together, we took the words, and Darin had a song he'd already written years ago that had been lost in the hard drive crash.
Yep. I remember it well.
So he
Sounds
said,
nothing like this.
great, this is the music we'll put with those words. And he actually makes a demo for it, sends it to a friend of mine, Joe, who was originally going to play some guitar on this album. And I was like,
The seal of disapproval.
it was like a rock song and almost pop.
That's how I wrote it 20 years ago. That's
And
what
I
it
was like, well, that's great, but this Singin Stone song is Appalachian jazz lazy tune. And so you had to go back to the drawing board.
I did.
Tell me about that.
So yeah, it was originally a rock tune when I wrote it, and she, the working title of that tune when I wrote it like 20 years ago was Lazy, just because it didn't have any lyrics, and that's how I felt.
So I said, great, that's a great title, because I need like a lazy Appalachian jazzy slow.
But it wasn't lazy enough. Like, mine was more like lazy mid-tempo rock kind of song. She's like, no, think like Norah Jones. I'm like, okay, well, I know like 2 Norah Jones songs, so why not? So yeah, I went back to the drawing board and I realized that this song needs a bunch of ninths, a bunch of major sevenths. It needs brushes for the drums, upright bass, and not a lot else. And so it went through a couple of different phases in its evolution. Like, the bridge changed a couple of times, the overall vibe changed dramatically. One of the last things that happened that changed was we were in the studio recording it with Travis, and he's like, what do you think about putting some like clean hollow body guitar on this? I'm like, sure, do you know anybody? And he's like, well, actually, yeah. So we got Andy Wood to come in and play some electric hollow body on this, which sounds awesome. and really,
So melodic.
yeah. And I thought the song was sounding really good, and then you put that in there, and it's kind of like this glue or this paste that kind of just gels everything together that much tighter. It was really cool.
And again, just these musicians that really know what they're doing just take our songs that are already, I think, good and go elevate them even higher.
Yeah.
Cleansed by the mountain that you were meant to climb.